And welcome to another week of Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Plenty to get to in this week's show. You had the Georgia Southern women's basketball team in town for a couple of games at Hanner Fieldhouse. Thursday and Saturday, they were taking on South Alabama on Saturday and Troy on Thursday. Unfortunately, both losses for the Georgia Southern women. The guys were able to split at those same two places over the weekend. They won at Troy on Thursday and lost at South Alabama on Saturday. Next up for the Eagles, they'll be having a big doubleheader on Saturday beginning at 2 with the women against Georgia State, the guys following at around 5 o'clock. As for our area high school basketball teams, some teams continue to roll right along. The Bullock Academy girls are now 16-2 on the season with the big victory at home against Frederica. The Statesboro boys picked up their 15th straight victory. They knocked off New Hampstead after a shaky first half. The girls of Statesboro High won as well as they were able to complete the sweep with an easy victory over the Lady Phoenix. Up next for Statesboro, they'll be traveling on the road on Tuesday to Wayne County, where the girls had their closest game of the season earlier this year at home against Wayne County. As for the Portal Panthers, unfortunately, they both lost over the weekend. Southeast Bullock lost as well. They'll both be in action coming up this week. We'll have plenty of highlights from the games, including we'll head over to Portal and Statesboro High, as well as Bullock Academy, coming up in just a moment. And a reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com.
The Medical Center Pharmacy on Grenade Street is proud to be your Health Mart pharmacy in Statesboro. The Medical Center Pharmacy, locally owned and serving this community for 50 years, is open 364 days a year. The pharmacists at Medical Center know there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. That's why they take the time to know their customers, explain their medications, and answer any questions. The Medical Center Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Well, the Georgia Southern women back in action this past weekend, trying to snap a couple game losing streak. Unfortunately, it just extended to a 4-game losing streak in the conference, a couple of games in which they allowed big runs by the other team to seal their fate. Let's send you back out to Hanner Fieldhouse for highlights from South Alabama and from Troy. Georgia Southern women back home Thursday hosting Troy. Alexis Brown starting things off strong with the pull-up jumper. The Trojans right back as Janiyah Sandifer will bury the 3 from the corner. Tatum Barber then heats up for the Eagles, driving for the lefty layup. Next, Barber with the jumper that finds nothing but the bottom of the net. And then Barber ahead of the pack for the hoop and the foul. The Eagles up by 3. Next, we go inside, and Nikki McDonald able to hit for 2. Down 2, the Trojans start a run. Taisha Moore, the short jumper. Harriet Winchester then pulls the trigger. Troy in the midst of a 22-3 run. The Eagles unable to score a single field goal in the second quarter. The Trojans then with the steal and the easy 2, Troy wins 79-69. We move ahead to Saturday, and the Eagles hosting South Alabama. The Jaguars hitting from long range early as Demaya Telemac for 3. Savannah Jones next for 3 of her 23 points. The Eagles try and respond inside as Sarah Moore adds a spark. Moore from Moore as she takes the feed and goes up for 2 more. Antoinette Lewis with a big night for the Trojans. She'd have a game-high 25 points. McDonald later showing some range as she gets the rainbow to fall. Haley Diaz Allen adds the pull-up jumper. Jaden Hamilton able to lead the Eagles with 14 points, but it wouldn't be enough. Southern Falls 71-65. And as we mentioned earlier, the guys split those two games with Troy and South Alabama on the road, beating Troy and losing to South Alabama. And next up, big doubleheader coming up Saturday at 2 o'clock at Hanner Fieldhouse. The women taking on Georgia State at 2, and the guys scheduled to take on Georgia State at 5 o'clock. Stay with us. High school highlights coming up next.
My Queensboro banker is Cheryl Quick.
Blanchard Equipment Company has 16 locations.
Queensboro has homegrown values just like us.
They get heavily involved in every community.
And that means strong customer service.
They've been around a long time, just like John Deere.
When you run across the bank like that, you stick with them.
I sure would like to own one of these John Deeres.
Well, we can sure make that happen.
Oh, well.
Queensboro is your community bank. Queensboro National Bank and Trust.
This your boy Mo with the flow. Come check out the stove. 15-0, 2 weeks in a row, baby. Stiff arming, high prices. And we're throwing the flag on quality that's low. That's why you need to come see Mo at Floors Out in Statesboro, Georgia. Come check us out at 1267 Northside Drive East in Statesboro, or call us at 912-225-9911. Georgia!
Well, the Statesboro Blue Devils and Bullock Academy Gators were both hosting big region matchups this past Friday night. You had the Gators hosting Frederica while Statesboro was hosting New Hampstead. Let's send you back out for some highlights from those games. Bullock Academy in a region matchup with Frederica. The Gator reserves getting plenty of PT as the starters played less than a quarter. Ashante Noble with the bucket. Frederica tries to hang in there. Gracie Veal comes up with the hoop and the foul. The Gators right back. Jaylee Baird with the bucket, and BA up 27-9 at the half. We move to the second half, and it's more of the same. Noble drives for 2 more. Next, the inbounds pass to Sophie Wall, who hits the long jumper. More from Wall as she drives in for 2 more, and the Gators roll in this one 39-12. To the boys' game we go, and the Gators trying to start out strong as Lyons McKinney gets this one to fall. Later it's Bo Spence knocking down the 3-pointer. The Gators take a 6-point lead. Frederica trying to answer as William Job hits the 3 from the corner. But the Gators right back. Chaz Collins, the hoop and the foul. More from Collins, 2 of his 17 points in the game. Bullock Academy up 27-14 at the half. Go to the second half here, and Spence off the mark, but McKinney the putback. Frederica making a run as Bruce Riley drives in for 2. Eli Fritchman then heats up. He'd score 23 second half points. Weston Boyd trying to keep it close for the Gators, but the Knights on a 16-2 run, and they'd go on to win this one by a final count of 54-42. Statesboro High hosting New Hampstead in a region matchup. This one all Blue Devils. Madison Lee off the glass for 2. Alexa Ward finding the bank open late as well as this one falls. Sarah Ellis up next as she buries the 3-pointer. The Blue Devils in command. Later on the break, Lacey Robbins will pull up and knock down the jumper. Jemiah Jones able to add the bucket in the lane. And finally, the nice save inside to Janiah Joseph for 2 as the Blue Devils cruise to the victory 59-17. To the boys' game we go in a pretty close first half. Zarion Griffin penetrates for the layup, but spent most of the first half in foul trouble. The Phoenix respond on the other end inside with DeAndre Smart. Back come the Blue Devils from long range. Kobe Altman for three. Later, Statesboro with good ball movement going inside to Leslie Black, who powers up for two. Back inside we go, and it's Tim Taylor with the tough shot off the glass. Statesboro up by two. Joseph Kilcup adds the three-pointer. New Hampstead again keeping it close as Dontavian Leach hits for the Phoenix, but the Blue Devils right back. Joe Burns stops and pops. The Blue Devils pull away in the second half. Here Black for two more, and Statesboro wins their 15th straight, 62-47. Well, up next for the Gators, they have a big matchup coming up Tuesday night as they'll be hosting Pinewood beginning at 6 o'clock for the girls. And as for the Statesboro Blue Devils, they'll be on the road at Wayne County. Wayne County played Statesboro earlier in the season and gave the Statesboro girls their toughest region task of the season. So it's going to be a tough go for Statesboro on the road at Wayne County. We'll let you know how they did coming up next week. Stay with us. Coming up next, we'll wrap things up with a trip out to Portal. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998, providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment, and education from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy, in-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests, and ultrasounds, and in-house labs. Featuring nurse practitioner Melissa Beasley, Family Internal Medicine of Statesboro can accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care.
A sports injury can stop you in your tracks. At Optum Orthopedics, our specialized physicians and staff use advanced orthopedic procedures with one specific goal in mind: to get you back to you. If you have a sports injury, request an evaluation. Experience the Optum difference.
No credit refused isn't just an offer, it's a way of business and has been for over 100 years. No banks, no ridiculous credit requirements, just local Badcock store owners who treat you right and give you credit when others won't. It's never been easier to express your style and love your home.
Well, it's been a tough season for the Portal Panthers. The season started off fairly promising, but has gone on a skid recently. The boys and the girls both won against Jenkins County, but that's about as good as it's gotten recently. This past week they were taking on Savannah Christian at home, looking to break a skid. Let's send you out for some of the highlights. Portal hosting Savannah Christian in a region matchup. Ladies first, and the Raiders in control as Madison Gant hits the long two-pointer. Mallory Robinette later ahead of the pack with the layup. The Panthers not giving up though. Keely Thomas fights for the rebound and the putback and the foul. Next from outside, Kelsey Williams with the three-pointer. And then it's Madison Hagens going strong to the basket. But Savannah Christian in control. Faith bullied, left alone, hits the two, and the Raiders roll 56-26. To the boys' game we go. In a low-scoring first half, Mike Lang for three for the Red Raiders. Brian Ware tries to answer, driving in for the layup on the other end. Then the pass ahead to Fred Spells for the easy two. Jay Moore trying to provide a spark with the jumper here. Later, it's Parker All on the other end with 2 of his 23 points. Raiders up by 8. Spells later with the block. Moore then with another jumper, this one off the glass. Dax Reddick will add the 3-pointer, but Savannah Christian up 28-16 at the half. Second half, and Reddick will add another triple. The Raiders right back inside they go to Will Jowers for the layup. Spells helping the Panthers hang around as he gets the putback and the foul. Brian Ware later on the transition manages to get the reverse to fall. Reddick will add another 3, but Jowers answers for the Raiders inside once again. Spells hits for Portal to make it a 6-point game. Jowers once again, and Savannah Christian up by 10. A big play later as Dax Reddick appears to get fouled on the 3-point attempt. Reddick voices his displeasure to the ref, and he's teed up. The Raiders take a 12-point lead, but the crowd and the Panthers fired up there. It Spells inside. Next, Garrett Fogle for 3. Great defense by the Panthers, creating 4 straight turnovers. Ware then will step back and hit the 3-pointer to make it a 4-point game, and then the steal ahead to Fogle as the lead is trimmed to 1 with less than a minute to go in the game. A 5-point game though with 12 seconds left. Cut to 2 on another Fogle 3-pointer, but it's not enough as the Raiders hit their free throws down the stretch and win this one 55-52. Unfortunately, things not getting much better, at least for the boys this past weekend. They lost to McIntosh County Academy. The girls were able to pick up a victory. Coming up next, they'll be at Savannah Country Day on Tuesday. And as we mentioned, for the Southeast Bullock Yellow Jackets, they lost this past weekend to Windsor Forest. Coming up on Tuesday, the Jackets will be at Johnson. All right, that'll wrap things up for now. We thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.